up there as a credible witness. But that's just coming from me. Now, the whole presentation I made is not to pin Mr. Duterte for these specific crimes, because I'm determined to pin him down through the ICC. And that's all I need. It's enough to put him away for life. But what I presented is to shatter that false narrative that he peddled to the Filipino people. Nagalit talaga siya sa illegal na droga. So, if you'd be able to research on this Minister of Defense in Mexico, who, like Duterte, galit na galit din sa illegal na droga, pumapatay din siya ng mga drug lords, pushers, only to be found out later that he was actually on the payroll of a preferred cartel. So the pattern is the same. Now, as for other witnesses, some of the lawyers here, members of the committee, kept on saying, what are the other evidence? What are the other evidence? So let us remember that the Duterte drug syndicate operated like a mafia. The Duterte drug syndicate operated like a mafia. Like a mafia. And similar to how mafias were destroyed, at least some of them in the US, isang whistleblower ang kanilang naging lead that took them to different pieces of evidence and witnesses. So yun po ang nakita kong value po kay Mr. Las Cañas.
Senator, one of the documents which you presented, should I say, or the information you shared, is about the huge amount of money received by the Duterte family.
Yes.
Which, as alleged, came from drug money. Do you confirm this?
That is my conclusion, Mr. Chairman, because again, the way these syndicates operate, wala naman pong mga resibo ito, wala naman mga CCTV na makikita tayo. Ito po, circumstantial. Lahat po, because I cannot explain kung saan po nanggagaling itong pera na ito na pumapasok po periodically. Yun po, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, do you have any pending case against the Dutertes pertaining to this information about the bank deposits?
Meron po. I included that doon po sa aking plunder case na final way back in 2016. And as I mentioned, because of this plunder case that I filed in 2016, yun po ang naging basis ng overall Deputy Ombudsman then to request from the AMLAC documents, and that led him to issue that statement that the contents of the documents that I have are similar to the documents they got. So, sinasabi ko, hindi nanggaling itong dokumento ko sa AMLAC, kasi nga po, bawal yon, pero the contents are the same. And that's all that matters to me as an investigator, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, please pardon me, but I'm a little bit confused.
Yes.
Because if you are alleging that the bank deposits are drug money,
Yeah.
then why plunder? Is it not that when we file a case of plunder, it should involve government funds?
Yes. Yun nga po yung sinasabi ko. Back in 2016, we were stuck in this paradigm na hindi siya involved sa illegal drugs. Kaya when the name of Sammy Uy was being flagged, we were assuming all sorts of things. Pero meron pong mga pumapasok doon, and ang information namin, part ng mga ginagamit na pera ni Mr. Duterte sa Davao is yung peace and order funds niya, which run into, at that time, around 730 million pesos per year. So similar to the pattern or what is used by the Vice President now. So meron silang ganong pondo. So that was the early assumption based on the existing paradigm at that time. Pero nung lumabas na si Mr. Sammy Uy ay involved pala sa illegal drugs as mentioned by Mr. Las Cañas, then it shifted. We revisited the bank accounts and concluded that these are drug money.
To clarify, Senator,
Yes.
you mean to say that when you filed the plunder case back in 2016,
yeah.
your theory is that the money is government fund, particularly coming from the Peace and Order Program
Yes.
of Davao City? No,
Davao
that was
City.
2016.
No.
Davao City
Davao
LGU.
City. Yes, LGU.
And then along the way, here comes Las Cañas. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Which gave you this conclusion that this is drug money.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And this case is pending with the Ombudsman.
Yes.
Did you file any supplemental affidavit to correct this theory of your plunder case?
But by then, we only had the witness testimony of Mr. Las Cañas, who was already out of the country and cannot be used as supplemental evidence. But we still attached other pieces of evidence like the COA audit reports, which flagged the ghost employees of Mr. Duterte at that time.
With that COA, with all due respect,
Yes.
Senator, then you're going back again to the theory of government funds.
Yes.
So perhaps I need to rephrase my question. Did you initiate a separate complaint with the theory that this money is indeed a drug money?
No, Mr. Chairman, because I filed it back in 2016. It included the COA records, the documents, because we were working on that assumption back then, Mr. Chairman.
The reason why I am asking you, Senator, is because kanina po nung maaga pa, one of our challenges in the Quadcom investigation is how to be able to secure the freeze order. And one of the offenses punishable under the AMLA as predicate crime is violation of anti-dangerous drugs law. And I suppose that if you are intending to file an offense, a case under 9165, I wish to believe, and I'm inclined to believe, that you can solicit the help of the AMLA, perhaps to get a verified copy of the information which you are presenting are bank deposits.
Yes. Well, Mr. Chairman, the evidence I got for the illegal drug smuggling case only involved Pulong and Mansa Carpio. And I only have that information from Mr. Las Cañas, who is out of the country and inaccessible, Mr. Chairman.
Anti-money laundering. I just asked Senator
Yes.
my staff here to check if Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act is included among those offenses considered as predicate crime of violation of AMLA. So, having said so, they were able to verify that it is among the enumerations. So, I
Yes.
believe that this is one possible ground for you to be able to secure a freeze order if you believe that this will help your cause against the Duterte family.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We're looking forward to the appointment of a new ombudsman so that we can pursue the 3 plunder cases that I filed against Duterte, Mr. Chairman. And unfortunately, when when the overall Deputy Ombudsman Karandang requested AMLAC precisely because it's included, the newly designated AMLAC Executive Director, who is a lackey of Mr. Duterte, stonewalled the Ombudsman. Actually, a more combative Ombudsman should have subpoenaed the AMLAC investigation report, but unfortunately they folded, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Trillanes.